It's Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. I'm Ashley Pollard here for today's edition of Tuesday Talk, where we review common real estate and mortgage-related terms. Today's term is blockbusting, and blockbusting is actually now prohibited by the Federal Fair Housing Act. But what blockbusting is the illegal practice of inducing homeowners to sell their property by frightening them of the impending movement of African Americans into the neighborhood. So the blockbuster was typically the real estate agent, and what they would do is inform the white homeowners that there was a new black family on the block. And when they did that, they would urge them to sell their homes because eventually, with all these black people on the block, now you're going to face depreciation. And a lot of times the white homeowners were scared and they would sell their homes at very low prices, well below market value. And then the blockbuster would then make a profit because they would list the homes at a much higher price to the new black families that were moving in. But the thing is that some black families actually weren't even buying a home. They were signing leases instead of signing mortgages. And because they would have people who would basically manipulate them into the situations, they wouldn't even realize. They would think that they were owning, but they were actually leasing. So I have a short clip that I pulled from a 1970s report. It's an investigative report on blockbusting in Baltimore, and it was on WJZ TV, and the interviewer was Christopher Gall. So I hope you enjoy this clip. Thank you for tuning in to Blockbusting today, and I will see you next Tuesday for Tuesday Talk.
By the week, Mrs. Washington?
Yes.
How much do you pay?
$31.
$31 a week, and that probably includes your ground rent and everything else.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Would you feel happier if the neighborhood were more mixed, if there were a more even ratio of white people and black people instead of the whole neighborhood becoming gradually all black?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it really doesn't matter what, who the people are as long as they try to, keep the neighborhood up. So I couldn't care who lives here, as long as they don't try to take it down any further than it is.
What happens to you if you're late in your payments at all, or, if you don't make your weekly payments right on time?
Well, we get a court order.
How long does that take to get a court order?
Well, we have our payments are due on Saturday if they're not there by Monday. And by Tuesday around 12 or 1, we get a court notice.
A court, and then what do you have to do with that?
Well, we usually always go ahead and pay them, but you have to pay $2 for it, the court order.
But every week. Are you convinced that you really are buying your house?
No, not really.
You were told, though, that you were going to be buying your house.
Yeah.
How long do you think it'll be before you own the house?
Well, they said, I think it was a 15-year mortgage.
Yeah.
Apparently, but like I said, I haven't seen anything to say that, how much we've, paid into it,
Paid off the principal, right?
Because they said they would send us a statement each year. I think after the first year. Well, this year will be the, the second year, and I haven't received anything yet.
Yeah.
Do you think you're getting a good deal?
Well, no, at this time I don't think so. At that time I might have thought I was, but at this time I don't really think so. Because I have talked to other people, and I've seen a lot of houses that might have been a lot, nicer than the one that we have. And their prices weren't quite as high, and they're not paying the way we are,
Mrs. Washington once thought she was buying on a 15-year mortgage. She isn't. She has a land lease option for which she and her husband paid $300. Mrs. Washington is not buying, she's renting. And she can lose her $300 she thought was a down payment for any small violation written into the lease. Mrs. Washington isn't alone in thinking she may be buying a house. Many of her neighbors, the victims of fast-talking salesmen, don't realize they're really renting. Tomorrow